like. They got mad when I said I don't support Black Lives Matter, because who they matter to? We kill each other all day. We talk about each other all day. You know who talk about me the most on the internet? You know what's worse? Two of them. Yes. Make you don't want. Yeah, man, it don't be nobody else talking about me. It be my own people that look like me. Talk about me like a dog. Kick me when I'm down. Can't wait. look at Gates. Went to jail, they celebrated, clapped their hands, it was happy. I don't look at color and see race no more. I see real and fake, that's it.
None of you are going to believe me when I say this, but I didn't care 1 second about what Kevin Gates had to say about BLM for 2 reasons. Number 1, he's already said this in the past. And number 2, I've said the exact same thing. I don't understand how people want to idolize celebrities and do things how they do it, move how they move, and agree with the worldview based on what a celebrity says. I'm not going to do that. If you choose to do that, that's perfectly fine. The thing about BLM that is so interesting that people seemingly still don't get is that it's an organization that likes to let you know, hey, police are the problem for the black community. All this anti-black violence, all the racism that exists, all these white people that are white supremacists, all the Trump supporters, all these things are the reason why we're here. We're the reason why we're sticking up for all the black people. Donate the money here. Make sure that you care about black people here. Post the black square over there and make sure you let the world know that even if you're white and you hold all that supremacy, you are somebody that cares about black lives. Yet this organization has shown you time and time again that they're the most crooked scam to be a part of the black community. And I don't care how much these people want to try to spin it any other way. A fucking content creation house used for a Biden inauguration party and a birthday party does not help the black community in any aspect as it pertains to anti-black violence or police brutality.
Yes, there has been so much clarity for me, a questioning for me. I don't know if I have clarity or answers yet, but I'm like, wow, this doesn't seem safe for us. This 990 structure, this nonprofit system structure, this is like deeply unsafe. Like this is being literally weaponized against us, against the people we work with. I can't tell you how many people are like, am I next? Like, are they going to do this to me? So there's not a lot of, that's like, when you know this, you run an organization, like people's morale in an organization is so important.
Yes.
But if their organization and the people in it are being attacked and scrutinized at everything they do, that leads to deep burnout. That leads to deep like resistance and trauma. And so I think that other piece for me around, you know, what I think is important for people to understand is, and it's connected to this question, but there is a misinformation and disinformation effort to not just challenge Black Lives Matter and the organization, but it's an experiment. If they win, then it's the next Black-led organization.
Yes, it is.
And then it's the next Black-led organization, and it's the next Black person who's leading that. And so it's so important that we pay attention to what's happening, and we don't allow for they have this they know what they're doing, like how to create the infighting, how to create the distrust. We have to stop it. We have to stop it before they do it. We have to shut it down. We have to be showing up against it. And so that has been really important to me too, like taking the time to kind of stand back and watch it happening and being like, oh, this is how this works. Like we are literally the experiment right now.
But the thing that's interesting about the Kevin Gates video is the reaction, because yes, you got a bunch of people cheering him on because they're so shocked that a black person doesn't like BLM. And then you got the people on the other side saying, fuck Kevin Gates because they support BLM. But of all the reactions, it's the people who are posting the mantra or the definition of Black Lives Matter that interests me the most. And I'm going to read it to you. Black Lives Matter, international social movement formed in the United States in 2013, dedicated to fighting racism and anti-black violence, especially in the form of police brutality. The name Black Lives Matter signals condemnation of unjust killings of black people by police. Black people are far more likely to be killed by police in the United States than white people, and the demand that society value the lives and humanity of black people as much as it values the lives and humanity of white people. And that whole definition or mantra or catchphrase right there is the fucking reason people like Kevin Gates, people like myself, and many others do not like BLM. Because how can you sit there and say you have the demand that society value the lives and humanity of black people only if they're the victim of police brutality, yet you don't want to talk about the black people who are unjustly killing black people? And if you've been on this channel any length of time, you know I hate BLM for that exact reason.
The identity of the four arrested for yesterday's fatal carjacking.
A law enforcement source says police arrested 17-year-old John Honore and three 15-year-old females, Renaya Baker, Markel Curtis, and Lanira Theophile. Fox 8 also just obtained the video of the horrific death that has shocked the metro area. Natasha Robin has more.
To me, it was meditated. I mean, they knew what they were doing, and then it was done. It was a choice that we're going to do this.
4 juveniles now in custody for the horrific murder of 73-year-old Linda Fricky.
It looked like a crime of opportunity.
Fricky worked for Rick Hodges as a life insurance agent for 30 years.
She was a great employee. You know, it was hard to go back and think about it, how this would happen to somebody like her.
A law enforcement source says police arrested 17-year-old John Honore and 3 15-year-old females, Bernia Baker, Marquel Curtis, and Lanira Theophile. Chief Sean Ferguson says they're charged with second-degree murder after carjacking and dragging Fricky to her death. Hodges and other witnesses told Fox 8 it was the male suspect who first attacked Fricky, possibly with mace.
And that's when he rushed her. He tried to pull her out of the car, seemed to be struggling with that, and as he was pulling her out, you could see where he started to physically assault her, basically.
He says during the attack, Fricky became stuck in the seatbelt as the teens drove away, dragging her from North Scott to Bienville and onto North Pierce.
You could hear her screaming.
Fricky's arm was eventually severed and her body laid in the middle of the street.
It's disgusting. I'm going to keep reliving that, you know, God knows how long.
Many now hope the teens will be charged as adults, including Chief Sean Ferguson.
I would say absolutely. I mean, look at the nature of the crime. Look at what we're facing. I mean, brazenness, broad daylight, with no regards to this woman hanging from the vehicle.
DA Jason Williams released a statement calling the crime unthinkable and said any and all persons that the evidence shows participated in the murder of this elder will be prosecuted to the absolute fullest extent of the law.
They're preying on older women and older people and people that can't defend themselves. It's just like, it's cowardly.
I don't care how many of you want to spin it. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about how you value this organization. I don't care if you don't support the organization and you just say the words. That whole mantra is a bunch of inconsistent bullshit, because if you're going around championing BLM and all the things that they're doing because you think that they're helping the black community when they're not doing anything and they've admitted to it, how are you going to sit there and willingly ignore black people being victims at the hands of other black people? How are you going to sit there and say, oh, black people doing this to other black people is just because of poverty, and excuse that and use that as an example every single time when you have numerous examples that contradict that and provide no benefit as to why anybody would be doing that to another black person? You can sit here and you could argue anybody down. You could argue yourself into a box. You could say all these fucking things, but at the end of the day, you can't be about Black Lives Mattering and seemingly ignoring when a black life is taken by the hands of a black person. And Kevin Gates getting on any interview saying, I don't like BLM. Katy Perry doing it, Beyonce doing it, Hobson doing it, Eminem. None of these people, even myself, it doesn't matter. The change starts in the fucking community. And if the community is just going to willingly ignore it and just treat it like another day in the hood and only jump up when the white man's involved, then we got a problem that we need to solve in the community. And a bunch of people just talking about it really isn't going to help. So it's really time for people to start addressing it. It's time for the community to say, hey, we don't really condone this. Hey, Patrice Cullors. Hey, BLM organization. We want you to speak up more when it pertains to black people taking out other black people, because it's not right. We claim Black Lives Matter. We want it to matter every single time in every aspect where a life is taken unjustly, not just by the ones you put on TV, not just by the ones you say, because at that point, it doesn't speak to Black Lives Mattering. It speaks to a narrative mattering. It speaks to black lives only mattering when it's fucking convenient. And if that's the game y'all want to go about, cool. Don't expect everybody to be on your side the next time you chant BLM and you want people to care. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Fuck BLM.